Now your notes on Chapter 2, India Physical Features. Number 3, answers the following questions in brief. Sub number 1, name the 3 main physiographic divisions of India. Identify the ancient landmass to which the peninsular part of India belong. Turn to page 123, the first page of this chapter. Under structural divisions, there are 3 points. You are going to take this. You will start with the sentence from the questions. The 3 main physiographic divisions of India are: number 1, the Himalayan mountains, the northern plains, and number 3, the peninsular plateau. And for the next questions, here, the peninsular part of India belong to, you take from the questions, belong to the Gondwana land. Number 2, what was the role of the Tethys Sea in the formation of the Himalayas? Turn to page 124. In the last paragraph, 1, 2, 3, third line. Here, the last word. The intervening space between the 2 land masses was filled by a shallow sea called Tethys Sea. Up to here, you stop and then you continue to the next page. Next page, in the first paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th line. In due course of time, the sedimentary rocks of the shallow Tethys Sea got compressed and folded along the convergent boundary to form what we call the Himalayan mountains and the mountains of Western Asia. Up to here. Number 3, give 6 features of the Himalayan mountains. Take the sentence from the questions again. The 6 features of the Himalayan mountains are, semicolon, turn to page 126. Here under the Himalayan mountains, 1, 2, 3, 4, from the 4th line. From the 4th line, instead of this, you would write the Himalayan mountains. The Himalayan mountains are you give point number 1. Point number 1, the Himalayan mountains are the highest mountain ranges in the world. Full stop. And next line you write point number 2. You would write it before you start the sentence. It extends from the river Indus in the west to the river Brahmaputra in the east. Then point number 3, the last line. The width of, continue to the next side at the top, the Himalayas varies from 400 km in the west in Jammu and Kashmir to 150 km in Arunachal Pradesh in the east. Full stop. Next line, point number 4. The mountain range is higher in the eastern section than in the western one. Full stop. And then leave the next sentence. After that, you go here. You start in the new line. Give number 5. The Himalayas consist of parallel ranges, the Himadri, the Himachal, and the Shivaliks, each having a distinct height. Full stop. And for the last point, number 6, you start again in a new line. A number of valleys are located between the ranges. Kulu, Srinagar, and Kangra Valley are some examples. Up to here. Name and describe the 2 broad divisions of the Deccan Plateau. Turn to page 131 at the second paragraph. Before this, take the sentence from the questions again. The 2 broad divisions of the Deccan Plateau are the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. After that, start in the new paragraph. Here, from the beginning, the Western Ghats are a continuous and unbroken mountain range extending from Tapi River to Kanyakumari. Up to here you stop and then go down here from the last 1, 2, 3, third line. The height varies from 900 to 1600 meter, though some peaks are over 2500 meter. Turn to the next page at the top. The highest peak of the Western Ghats is Anaimudi. Up to here, and then start the new paragraph. You would write about the Eastern Ghats here. Next paragraph, second line. The Eastern Ghats are broken of lower elevation and far from the coast. They consist of a number of low hills with an average height of only 600 meters. Large rivers have dissected the mountains in numerous places. The highest peak here is Mahendragiri. Interior of the plateau is made up of black soil or rigger soil. It is also referred to as the Deccan Trap. Up to here. Number 5. Describe some typical features of the Indian desert. Turn to page 132 under the Great Indian Desert, the third line. You would give again point number 1. The region receives, instead of the region, you will write the Great Indian Desert. The Great Indian Desert receives less than 100 millimeters of rain annually and experiences an arid, hot desert type of climate. Then point number 2. Next sentence, vegetation is negligible, mainly consisting of xerophytes. Then point number 3, next sentence, the soil being porous, surface water is lacking here. Then point number 4, next side at the top, point number 4. During monsoons, there are some runoffs, but they soon disappeared into the sand. Up to here. Number 4, give reasons for the following. Sum number 1, the Shivalik mountains are prone to landslides. Page 127, top paragraph here. The Shivalik range has, you would continue here, has been formed by sediments brought down by rivers from the Himadri and the Himachal ranges. These unconsolidated materials make this region very prone to earthquakes and landslides. Number 2, why is Terai wet and marshy? Page 129, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth line from the last. Terai is wet and marshy due to the re-emergence of the underground rivers from the Bhabur belt. This region is densely forested. Up to here. Number 3, the Eastern Ghats are broken in a number of places. I would write down this one and then I would give you the image.